Okay, so the first thing that we're going to start with will be setting up S3 bucket to host our HTML files. We'll make sure that the public access is disabled for this bucket, and we will upload files also using Terraform. And later on, we'll actually, once our CloudFront distribution is created, we'll create an access policy that will allow CloudFront to pull data from this bucket. So let's jump into our IDE. Here we go. Okay, so I have empty folder, and I will need a couple of files. I will need a couple of files to actually set up the project. So let's touch Terraform. We'll need provider file. We will need main file. We will need also variables. And we'll need HTML file. And we'll also need a module, Terraform module for our static site, which will be in modules, static site. Okay, I think this is a good skeleton of what we need. Let's just make it easy. Let's just create an HTML file, HTML5 template. We'll just make it hello world. Hello world. Let's move on to our main file. And main file will simply call the module static site, which will be source in modules static site, and we'll pass domain name as a variable, which will be our variable. Actually, no. Domain. Var domain. Okay. So we need var domain. So in our variables, we need to define a variable. And this variable will be variable domain. By the way, I have Copilot. Enabled. So you will sometimes see suggestions. In some cases, they are ridiculous and idiotic. Sometimes they are very helpful. And it will be type string. There you go. So we have one domain. Yes. Let's go back. So, yep. Let's go to main. Why do I get this squigglies? Ah, there you go. That should work. Yeah, so we have main file, which basically uses a module, passes our variable. So we can run, you probably run it already, Terraform, apply, what is it, var equals. There you go. We have to do Terraform init. Terraform init. Now we can run it. Okay. So the first error that we are getting is basically this is unexpected. So let's actually go to our static site, and here we also will just copy these variables. There you go. So we just run an empty, pretty much empty project, but it's not failing anymore. So it looks like everything is wired correctly. And we also get this Terraform state. And you can see that we don't have any resources. So since we are working, the first step will be working on our S3 bucket. I'm going to create S3 that Terraform file. And I'm going to create resource, AWS S3 bucket, which we'll call HTML. I don't like this. Of course, we don't need them. Just easier, fewer characters. And the bucket will be var domain. There you go. This will create a bucket. Okay, so let's check if we have any S3 buckets. Of course, you have to have your AWS credentials set up. So let's actually apply. Okay, let's apply it. Just init it. There you go. And let's apply it. And let's see if this will actually create. Yes. We're going to apply it. It's creating the bucket. And we have the bucket. Okay, so let's just make sure. Let's look at S3. Log in again. Let's take a look at S3. We have one bucket. If we look at the permissions, all the public access is disabled. There's no policies. So let's now upload our index HTML file. So we will go to S3 and we'll do resource AWS S3 object index. Bucket will be our domain. Actually, no. We can already AWS S3. There you go. He will be index.html. Source will be HTML index HTML. And yeah, that should be it. Let's try to apply it again. I'll just have to approve. There you go. So now if we go back to our browser, we look at the objects, we should see here index object, right? And if we grab it URL, we shouldn't have access also. Okay, cool. One thing that we need to do is tag. There you go, file assignment. That's what I want. Okay, let's upload it. this will help us with invalidation of the of the cache, because we will have an E tag on it. So if we change this file, the hash will change, MD5 hash will change of this file, and will bust the cache. Okay, so we have S3 bucket set up now, and files uploaded. So this pretty much takes us to the next step, which will be setting up the hosted zone for the domain, which will help us with setting up the SSL certificate.